Good morning, Richard, the meditation coach. Just touching base with you this morning about the power of tolerance. I've just been noticing recently that a lot of people have had to deal with situations of various different kinds, as have I, and I've had to be able to use the power of tolerance to manage those and to get through them and to get a good outcome for myself and everyone else is involved and concerned, because one of the things that happens when things happen is that we learn lessons, and whatever happens for us is we have a teaching experience, and if we're teachable, then we can learn a lesson and we can move forward in life. For that, we need the power of tolerance. And so what's happened to me recently is I had two situations fairly close together that I had to tolerate, that I had to sort out. And what the main thing is when you can use the power of tolerance to sort things out, it makes a big difference. Power of tolerance allows you to go from almost not coping to coping very well. And it also allows you to understand what you need to do to resolve the situation and get things moving. In the first situation that I had, a certain person said something to me which quite clearly I understood that person didn't have all the facts and all the information, and I had to figure out how to deal with that. And so I called on the power of tolerance, and then I was able to, from there, I was able to understand quite clearly what I had to do. And before I called the power of tolerance, I was just mulling over in my mind what to do. But then when I called the power of tolerance, I knew exactly what to do. And then I was able to speak to the appropriate people, and it got sorted out. The other thing that happened was I had a person come into my space, and this person was in a difficult situation themselves, and they were asking me to do something, and immediately I was a bit unsure of what to do. Called the power of tolerance, and I was immediately able to understand what to do, and then I was able to act appropriately in that situation as well. And so the power of tolerance is an amazing power, and if you can use that power in your daily life, it's going to make a massive difference. Now, how do you use the power of tolerance? Well, the power of tolerance is a power that we all have, but we're not aware of it. In fact, we have 8 basic powers, and the power of tolerance is the main one. And when you use, the power of tolerance in the right way, it supports you. Now, with these powers, you have to have an internal stock of power for the power of tolerance to tap into, to use. And this stock of power is developed through your morning meditation. And you have to fill up your tank in the morning so the power of tolerance can dip into that tank of power to make it work. If you haven't meditated in the morning and you don't have a stock of power to use, it won't work very well. So that's a proviso. Now, when something happens, then any power that you need, and I'm only going to talk about the power of tolerance today, when you need the power of tolerance, you call it. And the way you call it is you say, power to tolerate, come. And then once you've called it, you should feel the immediate effect of that power coming in and helping you out. And the immediate effect will be that you will feel a lot more stable, a lot clearer. You'll go from feeling edgy and almost not able to cope to completely coping. And then you'll be able to be fully stable, fully present, and fully clear, and know exactly what to do. And then you can act. This is what the power of tolerance does. And the power of tolerance will enable you to actually move forward with effectiveness. Okay? So that's the power to tolerate. That's how it works. And so we've all got stories going on in our lives. We've all got people around us that are interacting with us in our lives, And we all have different situations that come up in our lives. Situations can be good. We might even have to tolerate good situations because we might be too excited. And you're going to have neutral situations, which are just great situations, just falling along. And you're going to have situations which are challenging. And so those situations which are challenging, they're the ones we really need to deal with, and we need to deal with well. And so when a situation comes up, and a challenging situation comes up into your space, what happens? Well, you're going to have people, you're going to have words, you're going to have feelings, and you're going to have attitudes, and you're going to have all sorts of things interacting all at the same time, and it's all influencing. That's the word, influencing you. And as you get influenced, you have to decide whether you're going to react or whether you're going to be uninfluenced by the whole thing at all. When you have spiritual power, and you've been developing spiritual power for some time through your meditation, then when a situation comes into your space and tries to influence you, it's unlikely that it will. However, if something does come in and rock your world, then you need to have the powers at ready to be able to handle them. And so then you call the power to tolerate. The other thing that we want in any situation where there's people involved, because there's usually yourself and one other and usually another, or there might be more than that. But what we're looking for in any situation to resolve a situation is we're looking for a win-win-win. Now, this is another tool called a win-win-win, and a win is a win for me, a win for the other person, and a win for God, right? Or a win from the universe, if you don't want to use the word God. Debbie, good morning. And so the win-win-win is where you win, the other person wins, and the universe wins, or God wins. And so if you're looking for a win-lose, because lots of situations you can have win-lose, and if you look for a win-lose situation, if you win, they lose, you actually lose as well. Now, the win-win-win is where you win, they win, and God wins. And if you can all win together, then you're going to have a really good, powerful solution, and it's going to really work well for you. However, how do we go and get a win-win-win? How do you do that? Because often there are times, if something happens, you immediately reach for the win-lose. And then you go, well, hang on, no, we need a win-win. And so if I'm going to win, then they have to win. So when I'm in a situation where something's happened and I'm looking for a win-win-win, then what I do is I say, first of all, okay, what's a good solution for me? Great. And then what's a good solution for them? And you might be able to figure it out, you might not. So if you're not sure, then you just say the following. You say, I determine that there is a win for me, and a win for them, and a win for the universe, and it's all good and it all works out well for everyone in the end. And it is done. And this is what you say. Then you feel it, and then you push it out to the universe, and you allow it to actually be there, and and then you look for opportunities for a resolution to happen in that situation, so there's a win for you, a win for them, and a win for universe, or win for God. And then you start progressing down that track, and eventually you'll find an opportunity where there is a win-win-win, and you may not know what the win is, but it will actually happen. And then you'll feel good, the other person will feel good, and the universe will be blessed, and then the situation, everyone will be happy, and everyone will move on in a happy way, and whatever that will be. So the situation I just had recently, just yesterday, where I could have easily gone for a win-lose, because I could have won, and I could have put this person in a situation where they could have felt a bit of pain. However, that wasn't my job. I didn't want them to feel pain, I just wanted them to learn something. And so I actually ended up looking for a win-win, and so I spoke to the appropriate parties who are involved in that situation. And I said, can you take care of it? And they did. They took care of it. I have no idea what they did, but it was a win for me and a win for them. and it was a win for universe as well. And so when you're looking at the power of tolerance that we talked about earlier, and when you look at that at situations and sorting them out and being stable in your own self, so you're beyond the effective influence of any situation. So, and then after that, looking for a win-win-win, you've got a perfect solution for sorting things out. So if you are sorting things out, have a great time and enjoy sorting them out and have a good response and a good result. And looking for the win-win-wins, and use the power of tolerance. Have a great day. Blessings to you all. Take care. Richard, the Meditation Coach.